for the second time.
Actually, this is not about masks. This is about the other issue with the bill that I think, because of all the public attention to the masking issue, has been lost. And that's sort of, I don't want to call it a constitutional question, but it is. It's more a question of balance of powers. The original, well, first of all, somebody said earlier that we thought we were done with this, and now we think we're about to be done with it. We thought we were done with this last June. We ended the state of emergency. I think we all agreed with that. And then in the middle of August, August 19, the governor comes out with declaring a disaster emergency for new COVID-19 variants. And that's what we're being asked to continue. I thought he made a mockery of us, Mr. Speaker. I suspect you agreed. I think he had other reasons at that time other than health for issuing that declaration. I think a lot of it had to do with financial issues and fighting with the legislature about money. But I don't know that for a fact. There are some things that came up at the hearing that it makes sense to extend at the moment. They've already been mentioned by a few folks, the retired teachers coming back to fill in for longer periods of time. There's a couple of others. I'd have no problem if we codified temporary extensions with sunset clauses of a lot of the individual non-mask issues. In fact, I think most of them I was okay with. But to just extend the state of emergency, Mr. Speaker, is a mistake by this body, because it essentially acknowledges that what the governor has been doing is okay and it's been proper, and it is not. I find it disrespectful of us as a body, disrespectful of the Senate. I would, if this bill did not involve an extension of a mask requirement, and it did not involve an extension of the disaster emergency declaration, but it did involve certain targeted codified items, I would vote for it. But for that reason alone, I'm not going to vote for it. I find it very difficult to declare that we are living in a disaster emergency. You know, last Saturday, I remember going out to lunch at a local restaurant where, I'm not going to name it because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but let's just say you would never have known that masks existed anywhere. I remember watching, I wasn't watching it, but I happened to notice at the bar on the TV, there was a packed PC Marquette game. And yet we're living in a state of emergency. It makes no sense at all. And it goes back to the point I made earlier. You know, people do watch us and they question whether or not they should take government seriously. People only listen and obey their government when they respect what government does. They don't have to like it or agree with it. But when they start to disrespect what the government does, that breeds long-term problems and trust, and we don't want that. So I think, I know it's not going to happen now, but I really think if we had redrafted this, and I brought this up at the hearing, to target certain things and give an extension, the mask issue might have been its own fight. But other than that, we could have done this. I just think we're all deferring far too much to the second floor, and I don't think the third floor should do that.